to go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's morning. There we go, 11 o'clock. We are 30 seconds to game time for Team USA East against Team Canada. I am G.I. Jones.
And I'm Bob Noxious. Jones, how are you, man?
I'm not too bad. I just finished shooting the Australia game, and that went kind of well.
I thought handguns weren't permitted.
Well, with my camera, of course.
Oh,
as a
gotcha,
photographer, yeah.
gotcha.
So up next, Team Canada, Team USA East. This should be a pretty fun game to watch.
Well, they've all been a lot of fun to watch. You know, one of the things that I've taken away from every JRDA event that I've attended is close or blowout. When you watch them jam by jam, it's about as thrilling as it gets.
Yes, and point being yesterday, I mean, even with the 30-minute bouts they were doing yesterday, watching Team Australia, actually even with the game that I just watched with Team Australia and shot, you know, the smiles and the happiness. These kids are having a blast. They are playing the best of their ability. I'm watching them actually changing their gameplay during the game. They're learning here.
Yeah.
Team Australia was learning during their game, and that's great.
Yeah, we're going to see very different results as the day progresses, as these teams become stronger after 4 or 5 games underneath their belt. And we're going to line them up right now, and we're going to go to the action.
Okay, rosters for Team Canada. We've got number 1, Art Attacker. Number 121, Marty McDye. 13, Effin Fury. 141, Frankenherder. 182, Jamie's Got a Gun. 24, Lemon. 27, Bones and Beauty.
Yeah, and we'll get through the names a little bit. They're off and running. We've got Lemon out there for Team Canada up against Sage Kern. And that's going to be Kern with the lead jam.
Lemon having a little bit of a hard time getting through the pack. She's bumping into some strong USA walls as Karen gets through the pack, picks up a 5-point natural grand slam, lapping the jammer.
Yeah, absolutely, GI. What happens, well, what you're going to see in these games is, I don't know, in case you don't remember, it's called offensive blocking. Yes, right. Actually, these young men and women are incredibly adept at switching from offense to defense, and so you're gonna see how they're gonna be able to spring their jammer free and trap another almost simultaneously.
The advantages that the JRDA skaters and these juniors have is some of them have been skating for almost 9 years in some cases, and just thinking of RollerCon in a couple weeks, and there's a 10-year skating bout happening. These kids aren't old enough to be in that, but heck, next year they'll be able to skate in the 10-year skater bout.
Yeah, some of them have been at it for quite a long time.
Now jamming for Team Canada, Molly Hatchet.
Play-by-play and have me insert color.
Haley Zubinski for Team USA East.
Because if you want to do like a WFPDA tournament, they're going to ask you to split the roles. So let's practice it. So what are you more comfortable with? You do all the play-by-play, leave holes for me, and I'll do color commentary.
And so there we are. We're off on this jam, and number 2 with Molly Hatchet out and lead, as you can hear the crowd blowing up for Team Canada.
Well, I'll tell you, Molly Hatchet flirting with disaster. Nice job there, shoulder down, gets through the pack.
And she is through once again, and she's going to pick up a big 5-point grand slam as USA's jammer is being held back by Team Canada's blocking wall.
Oh, terrible collision there as Molly Hatchet runs into her own blocker.
Haley Dubinsky not able to get through the wall at all, still stuck on her initial pass.
Look at that 3-wall Canada puts up. They're able to run her out of bounds, but Dubinsky is not in a cut track situation, steps back on the track legally.
Another 5 points to Molly Hatchet as she goes through. Coach Homer tells her to push through and call it off.
Wow, what a hit. That's number 66, Ashlyn Fish. She just
changed.
I think they got to start a stat for pancake blocks like they do in college football.
That
We've
up
seen some
14 Canada,
amazing
El
hits.
Skeleto.
Hey, there's a pivot line. Do you remember
Sage
that?
Kern for
actually,
USA
no. I've only been
East.
playing a couple of years. We never did the pivot line thing, but
Yeah.
yes, I know all about it.
And nobody
And you know
sponsors
what?
it.
It's there, and it's
Correction,
there to play
Madison
with. So
Warren
use all that
for
track,
USA
get
East.
some warm up, and get into the pack with some speed, and that's what's happening. As Madison Warren takes the lead and pops out of the pack for Team USA East. El Skeleto out there on his own, fighting through the Team USA wall, unable to get anywhere.
Yeah, that 3-wall up front, GI, is just really, really tough. Skeleto having a hard time with that. Surprisingly, yesterday, had a much easier time with it.
Yesterday, Skeleto did some incredible footwork and got multiple 15-point jams during the games. So back to the track, Madison Warren in and through for another 5 points. She's going to come back around into the pack as Skeleto finally pops out on his initial pass. No pass, no penalty going to Madison Warren. She's going to push through and calls off the jam before Skeleto can pick up any points.
Nice job right there. We saw that Canada had really put up a stiff defense at the very end of that jam.
Now
She
jamming
calls
for
it
Team
off,
Canada,
takes
Marty
the points,
McDye.
and we've got a 15-15 game.
And look at that. Team Canada's other male skater, Marty McDye, is now out on the
Samantha
line
Schaefer
against
for
Samantha
USA
Schaefer.
It's his density.
It's his density?
Back to the future, man.
Oh, don't mind me. It's still early in the morning. My brain is catching up. I'm too excited to see Team Canada out there. And Marty McDye, who actually got kind of a little bit shaken in the first game yesterday, picks up a cutting the
Marty
track
McDye.
penalty.
It's too
As I
bad
was
he
talking
got through
about.
quick. He had lead
Team
jam,
USA.
but it's going to end up going to his opponent, which is going to be Samantha Schaefer.
Yeah, he missed out on the first game yesterday with a hit at the beginning and then sat out the whole game, played the second one, and then he's back here today out on the track. Samantha Schaefer pushing through the pack, getting popped out of bounds. She has picked up a cutting the track penalty as well. She's going to head to the penalty box
Samantha
as
Schaefer.
Marty is already standing in the penalty box ready to go as soon
Power
as she sits
jam,
down.
Team Canada.
Yeah, that's not. It's not really going to shorten the power jam at all.
Marty with lots of footwork pushing through that pack, breaking those walls and those multiplayer arms, challenging them to try to get through. But he's getting bounced everywhere and gets recycled around to the back.
A little bit surprised, GI, that we're not seeing the offensive rush we saw yesterday. A little more
Star
focus
pass,
on
Team
defense,
Canada.
not helping their jammer out.
They were letting him do all the work. Maybe that was something established before the jam where he
Steve
said, hey,
Hammer,
if
the
I
new
get this,
jammer.
leave me alone, let me push through. And he's handed off and had a star pass to
Cut
Emski
track.
Hammer.
Team
Whistles are
Canada,
blowing left,
Power
right, and
Jam,
center.
USA.
So Marty McDye going to the penalty box as a blocker. Emski Hammer about to head there as a jammer, picking up a cutting the track penalty, I believe it was. And in the meantime, Samantha Schaefer through the pack, picking up a 5-point grand
Yeah,
slam.
Samantha Schaefer out there looks like she's practicing as there's only 4 blockers out on the track, 2 for each team. USA does a nice job running interference on that for her.
There we go. The jam is now over. USA East picking up 15 points, doubling Canada's score of 15.
Okay, so just call the action, nothing else, just the action.
Now jamming for USA East, Sage Kern.
No, I'm just, I know, everybody is. It's all weird. I know, it's weird.
It's all weird today.
It's all
isn't
weird.
it?
Learning baby steps. Here we go. Onto the track. Sage Kern jamming for USA East. Pops through the pack. Makes it through. Does not get lead as she had a no pass, no penalty on that. So lead is open as she makes her way around for a scoring pass.
Yeah, she was able to push through by herself on that, but it will cost her lead jam.
And Emski Hammer back onto the track as the jammer for Canada. Lead still open. She's going to push through. 4 points going to Sage Kern.
Shelly Helly not quite able to get a hold of Kern. And Kern working up against the far wall one more time.
And it looks like Emski Hammer has received a cutting the track
Cut
penalty.
track.
She's going to go to
Emski
the penalty
Hammer,
box as
Power
the jammer.
Jam, USA
Still
East.
no lead, and Sage Kern is up there, and Jenna Doyle bopping her out and making her recycle.
I think they were commuting. Doyle just said, "Let me drop you off here."
And Sage Kern pushing through the pack, picking up another big 5-point grand slam as Emsky Hammer sits still in the bench on a penalty. All kinds of sweeping action happening, but no. Shelly Helly manages to clip the jammer and earns a penalty for a low block as she does that.
Yeah, I tell you, that time they rushed. They rushed to try to, USA rushes to get her through. She gets caught, though, at the outside line. Too bad that the foul was drawn. It was a pretty nice play.
We have ourselves a star pass, and that is number 66, Ashlyn Fish, who has put the jammer panty on and is now your jammer, realizing she dropped her pivot cover as she did the star pass and put it on. Picks it up, swings through, and hits through the pack to pick up another big 4 points as Canada's jammer goes through the penalty box. Molly Hatchett has taken the star pass and is in the box.
And I tell you, Ashlyn Fish doing a nice job blocking out there. Now we're seeing that she can really jam.
She did a great job going through the pack there and whilst figuring out her helmet and helmet cover situation at the same time.
Well, you know, it's hard to wear so many hats at once.
Ha-ha. So there we go, USA East on a power start. That's number 24, Sage Kern back out there. Unless I misread that. That's 247, Madison Warren. Of course, the angle didn't let me see the 7, but that's all good. And she is around and through with lead on this power jam.
She's got more number than she has a body width.
Exactly. We need to make these kids wider. And she's through. She's going to pick up a 5-point if I look at the thumb wiggle on the jam ref. Another 5-point grand slam. Molly Hatchett back to the track out of the penalty box, and she is in on her initial pass.
And USA right there, they decide to leave the jammer off on her own devices as they take care of things on defense.
Canada.
But when you're down one or two blockers to the other team, you don't really have the option to switch.
And Molly Hatchett has done a star pass to El Skeletto. El Skeletto actually pops through because it's a scoring pass and picks up 5 points as he laps the opposing team's jammer.
And what started out with a bang, a little fizz has been let out of the bottle now.
There you go. Don't talk too soon. That's 5 points going to the board for Team Canada. Only 8 on that last pass for USA East. Team Canada calling a timeout.
Yeah, Team Canada. Actually, this is really a good place to call a timeout. When you consider the fact that Team USA comes out, they hit the track hard, they put up some fast points. All of a sudden, they get a big jam. Team Canada is able to get a big jam, pull the game back, almost tied. And all of a sudden, we got a 32-point gap, and that's kind of where things have a tendency to tip one way or the other.
Usually it. I mean, hopefully Team Canada will, after this timeout, they're going to pull up their pants and say, hey, okay, we're back in on this, and come out strong for this next chance.
It really is interesting when you watch enough Derby how that 30 to 40-point differential is often a really good time to regather the troops.
Yeah.
Because it's either going to be all uphill from there, or you can tip the scales and pull it back in.
It can flip-flop either way. I mean, as soon as that, you get an extra 10 points on that, does people start shutting down sometimes?
Now,
other times that's enough to give them the willpower and the want to bring it back up, tie it up, and then actually step over and take lead.
And it gives the coach a chance to really preach a little discipline, and we're off and running.
Back to the track, we've got El Skeletto going up against Casey Johnson. 2 blockers in the box for Team USA. Casey Johnson out first with lead, but Skeletto makes his way through the pack. He's going to hunt her down.
Yeah, Skeletto with a lot of speed. He's also got a lot of patience. At least that's what we saw from him yesterday. He hasn't had an opportunity to really showcase himself yet in this game, but we'll see it.
Not in this game yet, but yesterday I told him at the end of the day I watched him when he tried out for Team Canada earlier this year in Alliston, Ontario, and to see that it's a completely different kid from what I saw during the tryouts. He's much more confident. He's much more strong. His derby has improved tenfold. It's impressive.
Yeah, I've just really been impressed with the patience he'll show sometimes. And we're off and running one more time.
And we've got heavy hitter Shelly Helly out there jamming for Team Canada, going up against Taryn Spence. Taryn Spence popping out of the pack, picking up lead for Team USA East. But Shelly Helly getting a forearm penalty. It looked like she was out of the pack, but she has got a forearm penalty. She's going to head through the penalty box as Taryn Spence makes her way through the pack, picking up 5-point grand slam.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot this weekend. The one thing that these skaters are so adept that there's times when they come in too hot and they can't pull it back in time to stop the penalty.
During yesterday's 30-minute games, penalties were a huge factor in some of the wins and point differentials. And Taryn making her way through the pack, calling off the jam as Shelly Helly is told to stand. So she's got 10 seconds left on that penalty, and they're going to have a power start for Team USA East.
And you notice the offensive rush that Team USA has been using throughout the entire game. This is what we've seen from them in every game that's been played by either USA East or West. Jammers have really gotten a lot of support. And contrary to popular belief, it racks up a lot of points.
You know what? It takes a team to win a game. It's not all the Jammers' job. And those offensive blockers and those blockers make it happen. In this case, Samantha Schaefer's out there on her own on a power start. Shelly Helly coming back on. I see that they've got El Scoletto out there with the pivot cover on his helmet for Team Canada. We could potentially see a panty pass. And Samantha Schaefer out of the pack, finally picking up lead and skating through.
Yeah, Helly Skelly certainly had an opportunity to be lead jammer. She came out of the box just as they got going. And as G.I. Jones has predicted, we do see El Scoletto donning the star at the moment for Team Canada. Oh, nice move right there.
And a jam is called. El Scoletto not able to get any points on that as Samantha Schaefer calls off the jam.
That was Dubinsky who saved that play. El Scoletto should have pulled at least 2 or 3 points off of that.
There was some impressive blocking from the Team USA East on that.
Team USA
you know,
East.
the Jammers got the advantage coming into a scenario like that, and for her to be able to look back and read the body language and take that outside line away that he wanted, it's pretty impressive.
That's another thing I've noticed with the juniors. Situational track awareness is incredible in these kids. Yesterday watching Zen on the team, doing an amazing job of knowing where the other team's jammer is. Back to the track. Speaking of jammers, we've got Bones and Beauty going up against Madison Warren. Both jammers pushing into walls, not able to get anywhere, any progress, stuck in between turn 1 and 2. And there you go. Pivot comes off the penalty box and helps Madison Warren through, but at the same time, Bones and Beauty pops through the pack.
Casey Johnson gets her backside in there like a can opener and opens up that wall for her jammer. And there we see safe.
And an apex jump, no penalty. Bones and Beauty was falling forward as she, as the jam was being called. She kind of stumbled over a bunch of people, knocking a few players over. They kind of, the refs are kind of talking about it, but no
Canada,
call on that. She looked back. She
ruthless.
thought she was guilty, but no penalty assessed.
Taryn Spence for
Man,
USA
she
East.
slid from the center of the track almost out to the benches.
She did, and she managed.
And
to,
she looked
no
back
penalty.
the entire way.
No
You're
penalty.
right.
That's
she
all
was
that
like,
matters to
what do
her.
they call
Yeah,
it?
exactly. She was waiting for it. Up on the track, Taryn Spence up against Ruthless. Taryn Spence getting bumped down by Jenna Doyle, who's going to just knock her down and then lock her down. Goldie Lex trying. Goldie getting somebody getting a forearm.
Elbow
Jammer
to
getting
USA
a forearm.
East
Look at
power
that.
Jam.
Well, I tell you,
Team
Lex was not going to
Canada.
let her go. I think she had to resort to that to get herself through there.
That was amazing determination on Team Canada's blockers to get her through. And Team Canada Ruthless calling off the jam. Again, the situational awareness is not there. She did not notice that the jammer was in the penalty box, but that's okay. We'll put fresh legs out.
Yeah, that's unfortunately an opportunity squandered, but we see mistakes like
Now
that at
jamming
every
for Team
tournament.
Canada, Molly
She was probably
Hatchett.
just really happy she got lead on that one.
Well, you could hear Bernie cheering,
you
and
can
then all
see
of a sudden
the
it was
crowd.
like,
The crowd goes wild.
oh.
That's okay. Molly Hatchett will take care of this. She's out on the line on a power start. We got about probably 25 seconds left in this penalty to Team USA East, and Molly squeezes around the outside.
I think that was just excuse me.
That's what we do.
Coming around. Thank you.
Canadian roller derby.
Yeah.
Pardon me. can I get through the pack? And then just people move, and you just have to be nice when you ask. Molly Hatchet out there on her power jam. She has gone through the pack, and she's going through it again for another 5 points. She's pacing herself. You can see she's getting her breath under control. Taryn Spence is back out on the track. Molly's got to take another wing at this and try to pick up another 5 points. She's lead, so she's going to call it off before Taryn can pick up any points. No, Taryn picks up 3 points on that jam.
Yeah, Molly Hatchet,
Marty
one of those,
McDye.
once in a while you find a jammer who doesn't go out there and pour on a lot of
for
speed,
USA
but
East.
maneuvers through the pack like everybody just say, oh, okay, go through. And she's been very, very effective. You're going to catch her. You're going to catch her if you're going to run her down, but you probably aren't going to beat her through the pack.
She has grown. Another one that's grown. I mean, she's from my home league, Chinook City Roller Derby back in Calgary. And I've actually watched her grow over the past 3 years. She just turned 16 when we got here on Wednesday, I believe her birthday was. And so she's a kid to contend with as she grows and learns more about roller derby and gets more confident. Back to the track, Marty McDye out there going against Chloe Reed. Chloe Reed swinging around, coming through. And the jam is called. 2 points going to Team Canada, 3 to Team USA.
You know, when you got the flux capacitor,
Marty's
how
got
you gonna
it.
how you gonna be
Now
stopping?
jamming
He's
for
there. His
USA
sister also
East,
plays there out of
Madison Warren.
Vancouver, if I remember correctly. Both
El
of them
Skeleto
Derby
for Team
family.
Canada.
Once again,
Your Derby family tree runs pretty deep. I have to say.
we've got several people on Team Canada that are family members of Derby players. El Skeleto, actually, his father is Tank M4 from Team Canada Men's
yes,
Roller
yes.
Derby. We actually have
Didn't know that.
Roller Derby alumni from the World Cup. Coach Lime is here today. Homer.
Awesome.
Homer Urgency is the coach for Team Canada Juniors. Tank is out in the stands, and myself, who was there as a photographer, are all here from Canada and from Team Canada Men's Roller Derby World Cup. To the track, Team USA locking out Canada with 4 points on that last pass.
Yeah, Madison Warren having no trouble at all getting around, not only through on that initial pass, but her scoring pass as well. Plays it textbook, takes the 4, calls it off. You know, let's be realistic about this. We're looking at a 51-point lead with 10:33 left in the first period. Yesterday, we were not on the air, but they played seeding games that were only 30 minutes. These are the first 60-minute games that they're seeing so far.
This is this will be the test of endurance today. Since the kids had it easy yesterday, they're going to be out on the track for 60 minutes today. And there's a Ruthless Reed out there again. She's getting another chance at this lead gem, and she has it again. But Casey Johnson's out there, hot on her tail, as Ruthless Reed screams, "I did it," as she gets through the pack, and she's just happy that she got lead, I think.
I've never heard that happen before.
That's what she called.
She screamed. She did. She screamed, "I did it!" And I thought, "What? Are you admitting to a penalty? You didn't get called."
I'm thinking
It's
the
a
only
lead
thing it
jam.
could be was the fact that she got lead, and she's proud of it.
Well, no, that's awesome.
Out on the track, number 24, Sage Kern lining up against El Skeleto again. This should be a nice matchup.
I
Only
yelled-
one blocker for the.
I yelled, "I did it!" when I first stood on skates. That's as far as I
I
got.
was really happy that I survived my first time on skates as well. Skeleto out of the pack, picking up lead.
Oh, there we
And look at that.
Yep. Now we're seeing a little bit of that athleticism and patience we talked about yesterday. I was teasing that he has a little Muse Brothers in him because he's willing to slow down and use that quick step he's got to get through.
And he goes in and calls off the jam, picking up 3 points as the jam ref looks over to the penalty box to confirm
Yep.
how many points.
And that was 3 on
And-
top of the first 5, so that's an 8-3 run for Skeleto, 85-39.
Team USA East calling a timeout and coming to the edge of the track to talk with the refs.
Yeah, there we go
looks like there
again.
may
We
be an
talked about
official
that
review.
40-pound. What? Yeah, yeah, we do have an official
That's
review.
definitely Team USA challenging something. El Skeleto was mislabeled on that last one. He was listed as a black-eyed beauty up there. I mean, he's cute, but I don't know if he's a beauty.
I don't think it's
Don't
just.
tell him I
it's
said
just
that.
it's just not the name he chose. You know what?
So we've got this.
Yeah, where do we go
official-
from there,
Yeah,
really?
you know, awkward.
Thanks.
Sorry,
nice.
guys.
Nice.
Some
Put me in
shout-outs.
a corner. What do I do now?
Some shout-outs. Obviously, I went to the to 2 benches before the game and spoke with the players and said, hey, you know, I'll be on live feed if you want to shout out. And, of course, all of a sudden I ended up with a list of all the junior roller derby leagues of the world. So I was like, okay, I'll just pretty much just put a shout-out to everybody.
All the junior
Of course,
roller
everybody
derby
that's got a
leagues in the
teammate
world.
that's out on the track today, they're shouting out to you.
But we do want to give a shout out, of course, to Fast Girl Skates. If you have an opportunity, all you have to do is email them at their sponsorship at fastgirlskates.com to get your league sponsored, which makes you eligible for a 10% discount.
Awesome. Fast Girl
well
Skates.
worth
You know
it.
what? Quick story while we've got some time. Just the other week.
Do you have quick stories?
Watch. I'm gonna try it.
All right.
So Fast Girl Skates. So the other day I saw in my news feed that Team Australia out at one of their practices in Australia, a young lady showed up to a practice whose mother had just recently passed away, and she really was interested in roller derby. And so I put the word out on my Facebook wall. I said, hey, you know, I know people, maybe. And I put it out, and Mo Quadzilla Sanders responded. And
Wow.
Fast Girl Skates are sending a package out to that child who, with the bad luck that she's had, kind of needs something to pick her up. And Fast Girl Skates is stepping up.
Dude, don't make me cry.
Sorry, man. Yeah, it was pretty deep.
I mean,
I was
it's-
emotional about the
that's
whole thing.
No, I am too.
Seriously, they are sending that to Australia to help that kid start roller derby. Okay, so no call? Okay, so the challenge was that Team USA East was challenging that El Squeleto got lead on that last jam. There was a no pass, no penalty hand sign given, but then he came back in behind her and picked up that point that would have caused the lead to happen or not. And so he did get lead, and there is no call on the play.
Okay.
So yeah, all that to sum up, shout out to Fast Girl Skates. Thank you very much for helping that kid out. Back to the track, Ashlyn Fish lining up against Ruthless Reed once again. Ashlyn Fish getting out of the pack, but no lead because she had a no pass, no penalty.
Well, this is the first time, GI, that we're seeing her put out on the line as jammer. She was handed it. She was handed the star as a pivot. She's an incredible blocker, and as we saw before on the star pass, she's an amazing jammer.
And she's going to pick up 5 points on that power jam pass because Ruthless Reed went to the penalty box. Now, with no lead being given and no way to return back time, Ashlyn Fish can't actually skate counterclockwise, or clockwise rather, to make up those points to get lead. So this is going to be a no lead on this jam as Ashlyn Fish pushes her way through, picks up another 5 points.
Oh, look at that. A lot of power, a lot of agility,
but
but
there
a
you
lot
go.
of heart right there.
Jenna.
Wow.
Jenna Doyle says, nuh-uh. No, you sit, and puts her out of the track with some amazing.
Listen to the crowd.
The crowd goes
I
on.
think
Jenna's got a
Doyle's-
grin on her face. Look at that Doyle face.
She's got a little fear in her eyes,
no.
too, I think.
Ruthless Reed, illegal procedure.
Kind of an odd call for where she was. Didn't see what happened.
Well, she came in back there. I don't know what that call was on the illegal procedure. I was too busy looking at Doyle's grin after putting out Ashlyn Fish. Ashlyn Fish, by all means, is not a tiny person to contend with. And to put her out, that would make me pretty confident, too.
Well, Ashlyn's incredibly strong.
What might have happened
And
is
Doyle, actually,
they
her
match
and
up
Doyle
pretty
match
well.
up
They
really
match
well,
up pretty
yeah.
well. And it looks like Ruthless Reed is back out on the track. She's going to get, of course, brought back. She may have left the penalty box early. That might have been what it was.
Well, it turns out to be one of the best penalty kills we're going to see.
That was nice. Of course, Team Canada helping that, unfortunately, with that illegal procedure.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's about the only situation I can think of.
Bones and Beauty out there lining up against number 247. Madison Warren once again. The penalty box actually looks empty finally. So this should be some good 5-on-5 roller derby. Both jammers into the pack. pushing hard. Bones getting the advantage, kind of pushing the girls to their limit as Team Canada sits hard on Madison Warren and not letting her through. Bones just taking a couple of good, there we go, a multi being, wow.
Man, she's
Stacey
being
Johnson,
rattled.
I felt that hit from up here. That was an amazing shoulder hit. And look at that, speaking of the devil, Madison Warren is heading into the penalty box. That's going to be a power jam for Bones and Beauty, who's listed as Lemon up on the board. I guess their numbers are all jumbled. And Bones is taking those hits from Johnson like you wouldn't believe it. And then Johnson finally pops her out, swims into the pack. And wow, just plows down Shelly Helly in a directional and gets a penalty for it. I mean, understandably, that was a heavy hit.
Well, I tell you what Bones and Beauty has to do in a situation like that is, first off, she's on offense. She's the one that's coming in with momentum. Why is she slowing down to take the hits?
That's the other thing, yeah.
It's not, you can't play rope-a-dope in roller derby without a sternum. That's going to hurt like a son of a gun tomorrow.
Let me tell you, that hurts. When you're hit by a solid hit.
She was taking shoulder after shoulder to the sternum.
She should have just plowed through that. Shelly, somebody got, she is kind of a
Somebody-
little
when
achy
they're-
right
when
now.
When they're looking at you, it's all yours.
Yeah.
When you're playing offense, yeah.
So 8 Mean Wheeler,
Yeah,
Kim McKenzie is
8
actually
Mean.
telling her right now,
Yeah.
when that happens, don't sit there and take it. I want you to get lower, and I want you to get into that hit.
I
And
love
she's
8
showing
Mean.
her how to take
I
those hits.
love
8
8
Mean
Mean.
knows what she's talking about. She takes and gives big hits.
8 Mean, one of the best defensive players, I think, in Canada.
An amazing coach for this team to have as well.
Yeah, very much so. Both her and her husband, amazing coaches. But how often do you see a coach actually teach you a technique when you go back to the bench?
On track during a game. Look,
never.
she is literally giving a 8 Wheeler Pivot Star coaching session right now.
She is.
You know, and Homer's going over to the official review on that call. There might actually be a review on that hit. I don't know if that's what's happening here. Casey Johnson did head back.
What hit? Well, maybe.
get
Oh,
on the
they
left
hit
side
over
there?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Casey Johnson finished knocking out the Bones, but then when she went in and to the left, the viewers probably saw it if they're at home watching. Hopefully the camera was on it, but she plowed in to Shelly Helly, and Shelly Helly's a solid girl, and you can see she's got ice on her chest. She got hit hard.
Yeah.
That girl does not go down for much. I've played against her and with her numerous occasions. That was a heavy.
Well,
hit.
I think you can argue that it's a
Like she was skating.
misdirection. It's a clockwise block. She can't engage. She can't charge into the pack and engage, and that's what it.
And it wasn't.
She probably
trip.
didn't
It
try
wasn't a
to,
trip.
but that's what happened. And I'll tell you, that one's going to cost, as she's going to be expelled for that hit. That's going to be a gross misconduct.
They, as mentioned, they said it was a reckless and clockwise walk. Yeah, that was what it was. And
that's
she
a
is
good
being
call.
expelled.
That's
it
a
was,
good call.
You know what? It was.
Things happen in the game, but you have to set examples anyway.
Well, yeah, and then it wasn't. There wasn't any sorry afterwards or anything like that. She just skated off for that penalty and was like, "Look at that, good move by Molly Hatchet." We're back to the track. Chloe Reed knocked out Molly Hatchet, and she's trying to bring her back.
Well,
right? We're doing the eat the baby move here, and Molly's not having it.
Yeah, but Molly's not in a position to kill time.
I know, that's the only disadvantage here, but look, that USA East killing that penalty, getting their blocker out of the box.
Yep, that's all they wanted out of it.
And it worked, and Molly was patient. You know what? Instead of coming around trying to get a cut track, both jammers into the pack now. No baby being eaten on this one, and both jammers getting bopped out and recycled. Chloe Reed being recycled first, as Molly's just trying to stay in the middle and avoid getting knocked out.
Right now, she probably feels like she's part of that trash compactor scene from Star Wars.
And there you go, both jammers out of the pack. Chloe Reed with the lead. Molly Hatchet not too far behind her. They managed to kill almost 20 to 30 seconds on that little hit at the beginning.
Oh.
Wow.
Reed comes in. I tell you, she's got that perfect stature that blockers just hate.
You know what?
Because she's short, she's got a great center of gravity, she's strong. And when she comes in, she's hard to see.
If you viewers were watching at home, though, there's something to learn from that last move. She came into that pack of 4 She hit the pack of 4. They were a great solid wall, but as soon as she hit them once, they let go for the second hit, and she just scooched right through them, called off the jam before Molly could get any points.
Well, not only that, she led with her shoulders, which prevents her from getting which made her pop it open as opposed to drawing a foul.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's it. If you come square, you're going to get 2 back blocks out of that. If you come in with the angle there, Scald Eagle teaches that at her boot camps. You come in with your angle and your shoulder leading in, and you do a little bit of wiggling in there, you can pop through the pack. Skeletor on the track. He's got lead, and he's going to go around as Team USA's jammer, Sage Kern, is knocked out and recycle. Skeletor coming in again and through the pack, picking up a 5-point natural
El
grand
Skeleto,
slam.
nice job there again of working with his blockers, letting them set up for him. And there he'll make a little move on his own, but he just, too bad he loses his footing. And now he calls it off.
He calls it off because, of course, Sage Kern was coming around for a scoring pass. Another heavy hit out on the track on that last play.
If anybody at all thinks that this is not juniors don't play physically, this is
not level 2. This is not level 2 junior roller derby.
This is the hardest hitting action I've seen in a while.
ATG having a little chat with his ref crew. I want to, go psychic on this and assume that he's going to talk to them about the fact that the hits are starting to get a little more gritty.
Well, I'll tell you, GI, there's a thing that I tell a lot of people who talk about officiating and often complain about officiating and things like that.
What? People complain about officiating?
Well, they honestly they shouldn't because the officiating crews do a great job.
Exactly.
But their job is really to do 2 things, and that is to maintain control and to call with consistency.
Exactly.
And that's probably the conversation that they're having. And if this game cannot get out of control.
And there you go. And exactly. And what I see happening here is ATG, and like you were saying, and to go consistently with what you were saying, refs' jobs, safety. People, we love roller derby. It's a hard-hitting sport, but we want to keep playing roller derby, so let's not break each other.
Yeah.
And so he's probably going to wrangle in the teams and go, take it down a notch. Safety first. So that goes with what I was saying with that heavy hit that happened. Is it looks like they haven't announced it yet, but it looks like
it's going to be
Ashland Fish came in hard and hit, and she's about to be expelled as well.
That's 2 players now.
That's
both from Team USA. We've had one that was expelled on a counterclockwise hit. That was really a kind of a charge backward into the pack. And Fish, and Fish is a heavy hitter. She's been laying people out all weekend. And apparently the ref crew feeling that she crossed the line on this lap.
Well, like you said, I mean, it's the ref's job to make sure everybody has fun and stays safe. And, you got to wrangle those in before it gets out of control. That's what happened.
That's a really nice job by the crew right there.
Okay, back on the track, we've got Marty McDye lining up against number 247, Madison Warren once again. One skater in the penalty box that has replaced Ashland Fish. So USA with a disadvantage on the track personnel-wise. Passionately, I think they're both pretty equal on the passion side. And Marty McDye making his way through, he's going to pick up lead.
We've talked a lot about Marty McDye and El Skeleto, but they're very different styles. Marty very much a kind of skater that never stops moving his feet. Skeleto much more patient.
I think it's a size difference that helps. Marty McDye.
I think they're going to call they're going to give it a no pass.
For it. Yeah, no pass penalty. Yeah, that almost looked like it was going to be a cut in the track penalty. All of Team USA's bench.
We don't have to wait for it. We're on the mic.
That's right.
On the stream.
There we go.
You have liberties.
We can do it. We won! No, but you're right. And now that El Skeleto's back on, you'll see the difference between 2 skaters. El Skeleto, big, long legs, tall skater. So he's able to drag those legs like a tripod and stay up when he gets hit. Marty bounces around, dances around, because if you hit him, he's going to fly because he's a lightweight. Haley Zabinski out on the track, and she's got lead jam for USA East. This might be the first lead that they've had in a couple jams, as a matter of fact.
Yep. And I love Dubinsky. I absolutely love Dubinsky. She's not only an accomplished jammer, but, you know,
look
look
at
at that. Air Dubinsky.
Where was
has
my
arrived.
camera? Where's my
Yeah.
camera? Oh, I love those apex jumps, and she makes an easy one and pops through as Canada's still locked down.
But
Looks like Skeletto is handed off and done a star pass.
The thing I love about her is technique, especially when she blocks. For her size, she can leverage anybody. Oh, right there, Skeletto. That was a nice move. She doesn't anticipate that.
No.
He didn't project that hit like a lot of people do.
No, he just let
popped
her bump into him and then popped her. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And we have ourselves that helmet cover pass. Ruthless Reed is out there with the pivot. She doesn't have the star on. I'm not seeing the star on Team Canada, so somebody's got it.
I think she's got it
I
stashed.
think she's got it tucked away in her secret star pocket.
And we should all have a secret star pocket.
I think Team USA has figured out that it's her, or does Skeletto have it? That would have been, that could, you know what? If
I think it's been lost.
I'm pretty sure, maybe the jam ref has it.
No,
And there you go. She's got it.
Yeah.
Magic.
But you're right. She does have a special.
She did have
star
something. I guess she tucked
pocket.
it behind in the back there. New accessorizing for the Pivot Star uniforms in the future. Lulu Demon star pockets in all your tops.
But it has to be movable, so it's never in the same place twice.
Oh, a Velcro star pocket. There we go. Whistles going everywhere. Skeletto hitting the penalty box.
And
Bones
we're
heading to
hitting
the penalty box.
And we're hitting the end of the first half. What an amazing
Wow.
game we've seen.
So, 2 expulsions. 8 mean-wheeler coaching session. What else happened during this bout?
well, and we've seen a game that until just really till this last jam was within 40, 50 points the entire time.
I wouldn't call anything out. I mean, you know,
No.
it's 133 to 57. That is a huge spread.
but let's give Dubinsky credit where credit's due.
She picked
She
up
just
29
put up
points.
29
Yeah, that
points.
doesn't help matters for Team Canada.
Well, you know what? Offensive blocking might have helped with that.
Again, as described earlier, offensive blocking is definitely a thing
All
that
right, I'll
makes
stop.
things happen.
I'll stop.
So we're going to, take 14 minutes off on this and take a break?
In about 11 seconds.
Should we leave these mics nice and hot so everybody can hear some awkward stuff as people walk by? Or?
That's
always
like
happens.
it hasn't been awkward enough already,
Yeah, I suppose.
Jones.
Well, I haven't dropped any swear words.
There
so
you
I'm good.
go. This is Bob Noxious with G.I. Jones. We're going to sign off for the halftime. Be back with us in 14 minutes.